Tonight, Chris Hollins is live for us in the Stadium of Light with all the team news. Jules Botfield is in Albufeira, where fans have been told to stay away from bars and clubs. And Andy Johnson is in Leeds with some of the millions of fans who'll be watching at home. Also tonight, we're live in Istanbul for reaction from Turkish fans. Arnie's back, this time as Governor of California, and we watch him through the eyes of the world's media. Now, if disabled people can't get in or around a building, that business could face fines of up to £50,000. Shops, restaurants and clubs will have to provide good access by next year. Exact details of the interim report are still secret, but some of its content is expected to be released by the CIA at around 10 tonight. But this is what we think the team, led by former Weapons Inspector David Kay, has found. No chemical, biological or nuclear weapons have yet been uncovered. So while the Queen has been welcoming her guest, she's had another unwelcome guest in the palace for the last couple of months. Now, this is today's Mirror. This reporter here managed to get a job as a footman at the palace using bogus references, and he got some really intimate photographs of her royal boudoirs. This was the scene when the UN Secretary-General went to a camp in the Darfur region of the country. Bemused refugees watched as Kofi Annan and his entourage of officials and media arrived to see for themselves what was going on. It's been described as an humanitarian crisis, but one that's only just recently grabbed the media's attention. It's thought at least 10,000 black African villagers have died in raids by Arab militia, and many more have disappeared. Some 1 million people have fled their homes to escape the attacks. Aid workers say with the start of the rainy season, people are at risk of cholera, malaria and dysentery. The priority is aid. Lord Hutton said tonight that he hopes to report back in a couple of months' time. Andy Ty is at the High Court for us right now. Andy, a lot of mudslinging today. Can you give us a reaction where you are? Officially, they seem pleased, but there's caution.
That's absolutely right.
Today, you've been to Saddam Hussein's hometown. What was the mood like there? Fahrenheit 9/11 has broken 2 records in its first weekend at the US box office. That's apart from winning the top prize at the Cannes Film Festival last month. Manoj Zamarodi is in New York for us as usual. So Manoj, it's not really a surprise that he's managed to get this much publicity and break these box office records, is it?
But hopefully they're going to start fixing them quickly.
It's very easy for you to be that philosophical about it because you're living in the safety of this country where we're not seeing the same level of violence, of course, that we're seeing in Iraq.
I know.
What are the thoughts that go through your head when you see the footage and you see the bombardment and you see the troops going through Iraq? What are your actual feelings at that point?
It's very sad. It's really, really painful.
These photos showing the bodies of Saddam Hussein's sons have been released. Uday and Qusay were killed during a shootout with American forces in a northern town of Mosul on Tuesday. And Johnny Diamond is in Baghdad with more on that right now. Johnny, what's the reaction been to those pictures where you are? All 4 of the boys lived within a quarter of a mile of each other. It takes no more than a few minutes to walk from door to door. At the top of this road on the right-hand side is Shafiq Rasool's house. At the bottom of this road is Rahel Ahmed's house. And at the top of this road on the right-hand side are the homes of Munir Ali and Asif Iqbal. We have got some breaking news for you tonight. One of the top floors of the Eiffel Tower is on fire. These pictures are just in from Paris, where you can see some smoke rising from the famous landmark. There's chaos in North America with major power blackouts hitting 6 key cities. Let me show you these latest pictures from New York. The crowds are there to pay their respects to those who died in yesterday's bomb attacks and to stand up to terrorism. Let me show you these live pictures of Spain. This is all the different cities in Spain and towns where people are gathering in their hundreds and thousands to pay their respects, to share their grief and their anger. Some are protesting because as yet it is not clear who is responsible for this attack. We'll be talking to our correspondent at the scene in just a little while. Let me just remind you again of what actually happened 24 hours ago. Now, no more spam by October. That's what the government wants. And today it took steps to stop junk in our inboxes. Nearly half of all messages are now spam, and experts say we're heading for a global email meltdown. OK, let's get more on Iraq now. And Saddam's appearance in court was making news everywhere. Just after 1:30 this afternoon, Sky, CNN, BBC News 24 and BBC World were all rolling with the story. And this young Arab producer got caught in the middle of it. He was working for CNN and he suddenly found himself thrust in the limelight. He was one of the few journalists allowed inside the court, so when he emerged, the world's media wanted every tiny detail from him. The first footage from the court was released without sound, but it was sent out again later with Saddam's voice clearly audible. Iranian channel Al Alam said it will be the trial of the century and a new era for Iraq. Al Jazeera's analysis on the former dictator was that he seemed rather nervous, and there was a lot of that kind of analysis going on everywhere, all about his body language. In the US, obviously, this was also a big story. Fox News interviewed a criminal lawyer who said that they should wait until an elected government comes in before starting the trial. History in the making was how Good Morning America described Saddam's court appearance. ABC talked to their anchorman, Peter Jennings, there he is. He was allowed into the court and said the former dictator believed it was a setup by the Bush government. If you're getting married soon and looking for ideas on how to make that special day just perfect, then here's one area you can't afford to miss. My toughest task has been to separate fact from fiction, what actually happened and what people think happened. The truth may only emerge when and if the boys are allowed home, and even then, we may never really know. Well, that's it from us. I'll keep you updated on our 60 Seconds bulletins throughout the night. Next one's in half an hour.
Stay with 3 now for Little Angels, with more Glastonbury calling at 8.
And we'll both be back again tomorrow at 7. Join us then. Bye-bye.
Bye.